water.
Like all this hair is hair that I've grown from, I can almost have bangs, from using rosemary oil. So if you are trying to grow a little more hair, this is like all the new baby growth from using rosemary oil. So natural, all natural, and works like a charm. Except that then you have all these baby hairs. You can see them like they're all over my head because they're everywhere. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Hi, it's Mo. It is July 21st, and today I'm going to do my TBR Spin vlog video a little bit differently because my TBR Spin book for July is Cane by Jean Toomer, and this is a very short little novella. It is a work of Black American fiction, and it is a Black American modern classic. I don't really know what it's about. First published in 1923, and Jean Toomer was born in 1894. I assume that it has a lot to do with slavery and with like the freedman movement and post-slavery early 1900s life as a Black person in America. And I didn't realize when I picked this for my TBR Spin book, but it does also have like some poetry or possibly songs in it. So I plan to read this all today. Let me see, where's my phone? I currently have out Death of an Ex, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, books 1, 2, and 3 in the Molly Southbourne trilogy, and Cane on audio. So I need to like read some of the books that I have on audio and return some of them, and I need to like finish some of the books that I'm in the middle of to be able to read the other books. But because Cane is my TBR Spin book and because it's getting towards the end of July, I would like to maybe be able to pick my spin in the live show and then read some of my new book during the live show that Sarah from Freshly Read Books puts on every month before the end of the month to pick our book. TBR Spin, if you don't know, is a super fun booktube game, a reading challenge that was created by Sarah from Freshly Read Books, and is a way to read down your TBR. So at the beginning of the year, we pick 12 books off of our TBR. It can be your physical TBR, it can be your audio TBR, it can be your e-TBR. Every month, Sarah spins a wheel that has prompts on it. The prompts lead us to pick a book off our stack. Sometimes you have to swap out a book. Sometimes you end up getting something that you weren't expecting. Sometimes the prompts make you swap out a book, but every month, once that prompt is used, it gets taken off the wheel. Sometimes new prompts are added, but you never get the same prompt twice. So in January, we had 12 books. Sarah spins the wheel. We pick a book off of our stack. We read that book. And then in February, we have 11 books. Sarah spins a wheel, etc., etc. So we are now in July. Cane was my July pick. So I am excited to get into this one. I vlog all of my TBR Spin books, but usually I vlog them the way I normally vlog things, which is to read the book, check in with you, and then kind of show you some stuff that I'm doing in daily life, like while that's going on. Usually, you know, I have a theme for each vlog's like kind of b-roll or what was happening in my life. But today I thought we would just do a day in my life vlog. So you saw that I already had my breakfast. My husband went to work today. The cats are chilling. I am just settling into work. It is 11 o'clock. It's 10:53. And so I want to start Cane and I want to finish this day. I think it's like a 6.5-hour audiobook. So if I listen to it at 1.5 speed or at 1.75 speed, it's going to be closer to like a 4-hour audiobook. So I definitely think I can get through this today. This is one that I've been wanting to read for a long time. I actually have 2 copies of it because I picked up this copy because it was a cool cover. I had already had this one, but the more I look at them, the more I think I like this one better. But maybe this, you know, we'll find out which one encapsulates the story more. We'll find out which cover way goes with it. This edition does have a big introduction, and then in this edition it's only 116 pages, and the story does have a lot of pages that are like not words, or very few words per page. So I think it'll go really quickly as an audiobook as well. The other thing that I have to do today is I need to eat some food out of the fridge all day. I finished this really delicious olive loaf that I got for breakfast. And then yesterday we went and got vegan banh mi. So I have to finish that today because I couldn't eat it all. I need to do laundry. And the big thing that I need to do is I need to work my work from home job. So I really need to work like a full 6 hours today and get quite a bit of stuff done because I really only have this week to do all the stuff that I need to do for my work from home job. I also need to edit some videos because I have not been posting. I haven't had a good posting schedule and I want to get things up and posted as much as possible. I've been trying to edit behind the scenes, get editing in when I can and just edit random things, but I'm really, really far behind. So I think I'm going to take an hour now, edit for an hour, and I'll do laundry and other things. Now that I'm fed, now that I'm coffeed, I think I can take an hour to do editing stuff, and then starting at noon, I'll really get into my work day for work. You can see how I juggle reading with all the other things that I need to get done in a day. A trick that I learned from Riley, I'll list her channel down below, is to read an audiobook while you're doing the rough edit. This might be really normal for people who edit a lot or who understand the internet better than I do, who understand doing videos, making videos and things like that. But for me, it was a real revelation that all the time that you spend rough cutting, so cutting out all the big chunks of dead space or cutting out all the ums and stuff that you don't have to listen to, that you can just do by eye, you should be reading your book while you're doing that. So I was oh, that is a total revelation, and now I do it all the time. I have it set to 2 times speed from the last audiobook that I was reading, but I think we'll try 1.75 speed. That's what I normally listen to stuff on now. I do still kind of regret listening to audiobooks at a faster speed because now I can't listen to them at a less fast speed, but it does help me get through audiobooks, and this audiobook starts at 6 hours and 49 minutes. I have 6 hours and 49 minutes today. I could listen to it at normal speed, but it'll probably be closer to a 4-hour audiobook. Before I start that audiobook, I do know that I need to do a couple of cleanup things in my iMovie. One of the things that I have to do is make sure that my last vlog that I worked on is on my hard drive, my external hard drive, and not on my computer or on my iMovie, because my iMovie gets full really fast. It's an old version, and if I don't continually keep moving things off, it just makes it very hard. The video that I want to post next, I don't actually even have on my iMovie yet. I haven't downloaded any of the footage. It is a sit-down video, so it is going to be a lot easier. I always up the volume because my volume on my camera is not that great. I have the video I want to do today. That should take me an hour to edit ideally. Hopefully not more than that. Then I have a previous TBR Spin video that I would like to do, but the next video after the one that I'm working on today will be my June wrap-up. So I've done most of the base editing for that. Those are always really, really long. So let's get started. Just quick editing. So that means we can also get started listening to Kane. It is now 12:49 and I'm just uploading my video now from iMovie to my computer. So it did take me an hour and a half to do that video. I read 44 minutes of Kane, and so far it's really reminded me a lot of Why the Woman is Singing on the Corner by Dolores Kendrick, who was a poet laureate. This is a novelette told in verse, a novella told in verse, and this is about how women's lives progress, Black women's lives specifically in America progress, and where they end up. But it is told in obviously a very lyrical way. It has a lot of influence from Ophelia and Shakespeare. It is told with a lot of repetition. Kane definitely has this. So it has a lot of songs that are repeated and stanzas that are repeated and poems poems that are used to illustrate what the author's talking about, and then used, stanzas from those poems are used over and over again in the stories. And it tells of women's lives so far. It tells of the life of Macon, Georgia in general, kind of post-slavery, during Jim Crow era, but it seems to be mostly like little vignettes about women living there and women's lives. It also reminds me of The Woman at Point Zero by Nawal al-Saadawi, I think her name is. And similarly, the influence of like men on women's lives and society on women's lives, and then how women can take like a wrong path or go down a wrong road due to those expectations from men, but using a very like lyrical, repetitive, repeating ideas and repeating words and almost reprise of thoughts or ideas. So yeah, that very much enjoying it so far. I think the reader is like, okay, I feel like this is an older version of the audiobook maybe, and so maybe not with quite as much nuance as I would like, but I am really enjoying it and I can't wait to read more. I don't know how far that 45 minutes has taken me in the book, but I bet not very far. And I think we're just going to keep getting more and more stories of this town and of these people and what life is like for different people, mostly women. It is like 5:30. I had my lunch, ate some leftovers. They were very good. I ate them so fast, I couldn't even show you. They were delicious. Just picture a delicious vegan banh mi, half of that, and you'll know what it was. The cats are loving the new rugs. I had to keep taking breaks. We don't have central air in our house. We only have air conditioners, and it got hot for a while, so I took a break, looked at the phone, shouldn't be doing that. But I was able to now finish Cane by Jean Toomer. So the audiobook still has like 2 hours and 7 minutes on it, but I guess that edition of the audiobook has a little biography and eulogy of Jean Toomer. So I opted not to listen to that. I listened to the entire book of Cane, but I decided not to listen to that end part. It is 2 hours long, partly because of that, and partly because, I don't know, I maybe would come back to that and read it later once I know more about Jean Toomer, or once I read more of her work. She was not prolific, I don't think, but she did start writing at a very young age. I think this book was published when she was only 28, which is young. It's not young now, I guess, but it seems like it was young then, and especially for a Black author in the 1920s, that seems especially young. I would definitely love to read more by this author. I thought this book was really interesting. I would like to know more about this book particularly, and if some of these poems and song pieces were traditional, or if she made them all up for this specific book. The book does go on to follow various different people. So we have Karma, we have Robert, we have Bonna and Paul, and then the last and kind of the biggest biggest part is Cadmus. And so we follow these different people and their little snippets of stories and their snippets of life. And it does mostly take place in Georgia, but then it does sometimes mention other places or take place in other places in part in some of the stories. And they're all very like lyrical, and they're all very much to do with kind of this poetry and this song, snippets of songs that we see throughout the book. And like I said, there's always a reprise of language and of song and of intention throughout the writing. And sometimes, what is that called when you don't rhyme something but the sounds of the words sound the same? So like the middle of the word sounds the same. Sometimes she did that in the writing too. So it was really fun to listen to and interesting to listen to. Because these were more vignette stories about these people, you didn't necessarily like feel for each person. It was more of like a kaleidoscope of life. And then cane refers to the sugar cane and the sugarcane fields, and kind of makes an appearance in each story. So it's the tube with which in the kaleidoscope is of all these people's lives. So we see these different snippets of lives through the lens of the cane and of sugarcane. I really liked it. I thought it was really interesting, really good. Much shorter than I expected. I thought I was going to be in for a much longer haul. I didn't even really read that quickly today because I kept, like I said, having to stop and take breaks, and then I was doing stuff that I needed to concentrate on, so I had to stop listening to it. So it really only ended up being like a 2.5 hour audiobook. So if you're looking for something that has to do with the American South, that has to do with Black American life in the time of like Jim Crow, I think this is really interesting. And it's like a very different take than some of the other writings that I've read, some of the Harlem Renaissance writers, and I would highly recommend it on audio. I think there's a couple of different audiobooks. Like I said, the audio narrator that I read, I don't know who it was, I'll try to put his name here, was okay. I'm sure a more, what's the word, like vocal specialist kind of audio narrator, like maybe Bonnie Turpin or someone, could do like a really fantastic job with this and put a lot more emphasis and sing-songiness into the reading, and I think that would be like fantastic. I do actually think I like this cover better, even though I got this cover later. But I like both of them. So I'm excited to cross that one off of my list and cross that one off of my TBR Spin list. I don't know if I'm going to pick, well, I don't know. Am I going to pick the TBR Spin, the next TBR Spin book in this portion of the video, or should I wait until the TBR Spin live spin? Maybe I will wait until the live spin and try to catch it, and if not, I can just come back. I have to do a little bit more work. I don't know what we're getting for dinner. My husband's on his way home, so I might see if there's any videos on YouTube that popped up while I'm continuing to work, or I might continue on with one of my other audiobooks. I think probably I'm going to try and finish Death of an Ex next by Delia C. Pitts, because it is July Noir, and that fits in. Oh, and it is P.I. July as well, so that fits in with that. But we'll definitely be keeping this for my American Modern Classic collection, and I'm going to keep my eye out for more Jean Toomer books for sure. Like that thing. There's one over here. This thing. Oh, this guy's head's gone. Oh no.
No, that's right.
So I've read the first 3 and then also the novella. The first book and then okay, and I'm also going to